I am a mother. I cannot conceive how it must feel to stand there with a photo of your beloved child who has served his country and then died by suicide because they refused to help him. This actually happened in Australia to the mothers of countless soldiers, sailors and airmen and women who've watched their sons and daughters fight for their country and have now been abandoned when they finally came home. These cases of veteran suicide are a national disgrace. We really only know about this because the mothers, fathers, brothers and sisters took a stand and begged for help. Credit must go to Alan Jones, the Daily Telegraph, and very few in the news media who gave these families a voice. It caused a Royal Commission. It's shameful that we even needed one. Yesterday, the report on the Royal Commission into Defence and Veteran Suicide was handed down. Mother Julie-Ann Finney was one of the leading voices calling for the high-level inquiry after her son David died by suicide after he was medically discharged from the Royal Navy against his wishes. Julie-Ann joins us on Talk Straight today. Julie-Ann, many Australians would be shocked to know that the rate of death by suicide by those currently or formerly serving in the Australian Defence Force is 20 times higher than that of those killed in action or on exercises.
When we talk about this and being over 3,000, you're right, Katherine. We often think that losing our children would be our worst nightmare. And guess what? We're right. I remember being told on the night that my son had died. And I remember thinking, oh, my God, nobody's going to wake me up. This isn't a thought bubble. This is really happening. And it was just so distressing because I knew it was forever. So it really is our worst nightmare, and it is just indescribable. It is indescribable agony.
So the report was handed down yesterday, Julie-Ann, so obviously you've had a little bit of time to have a look through. I understand it is very comprehensive, and it was handed down to the Governor-General Mostyn. So what is the reaction within the mothers community about what they found?
What I'm hearing is most people are liking it. Believe it or not, we haven't got together. It's been all, putting it in. But for the most part, I think that the report is amazing. I'm really happy with it. But however, somebody said to me, the ball is now in the government's court to implement. And I'm saying no, it cannot be in the government's court. It has to be in the veterans and their families' court. We must not only have the recommendations implemented, but we've got to have it done in the spirit that the commissioners mean, which means no more of the big voices of the past that fought so hard against a Royal Commission that think they're the experts in all things defence. No more will we hear their voices. We must hear lived experience. We must do things to stop suicide.
So, Julie-Ann, it sounds like you're angry, and of course you have a right to be angry about what's happened. So I think you referred to it as political BS. So could you tell us why you are so angry about what has happened?
Yeah, so I feel that I've been ghosted and disregarded for the last 5 years, and now I've begged for the help, I've begged for everything to be done properly, and now we are at the point where we have spent millions of dollars and 3.5 years, and I have attended every single session of the Royal Commission. So we've spent all this money and time, and it was under-resourced in money and time for the commissioners to do a wonderful job. I will now not sit back and watch this all be undone by politicians that want to work with influence or egos or funding to the right places. When I hear who has paid who to do what report, not going to happen.
So do you think that the report that has been handed down has sufficiently shone a light on all the problems?
Most of them, absolutely. I think it really has. There's a few things. There's a few people that are feeling like they missed out. But we'll bring that up in due course. I don't want anyone to feel that they missed out. There are so many issues. It's why we needed a Royal Commission to tease all that out, and why we need independence to keep this going now.
So, Julie-Ann, the Commission has handed down a raft of recommendations, 122 of them, and you've said that they all must be implemented as a matter of urgency. So for you, which ones are the standouts? Which ones do you think are the most critical that they really need to action?
An independent rolling commissioner. That's what I'm calling it. They're calling it an independent body, but it's like a royal commission and it goes on. We need that completely independent, nobody in high ranking from defence, nobody from any ex-service organisation or that has previously worked in DVA. We need like almost a CEO to take over, and where veterans and their families have a place to go when things go systemically wrong. I also think that with the ex-service organisations, they now need to be told what to do. So I don't want to see any of them at the top being the peak body. They fought against a royal commission. Not all of them, but nearly all of them. They form a body in the Department of Veteran Affairs called ESORT, which is the Ex-Service Organisation Roundtable, and they have had too much power, too much influence, too much say for too long, and they have done nothing to bring down the suicide. Now, remember, I said not all, but absolutely most.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Julie-Ann, and sharing your story. I have no doubt your unwavering dedication to, assisting other bereaved families and to obtain answers and effect change. And hopefully this will prevent future suicides.
We have to do that.
Yeah, although I'm sure you would swap it all in a heartbeat to have your beautiful David back.